It is Tuesday, December 9th at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. And that means it is time for Comic Industry Insiders Live. We do this every Tuesday where we all get together with a bunch of our friends and we talk about the headlines of what is happening in the world of comics. We talk about all of we talk to as many people as we can get who know what they're talking about how comics is working this time of year. Speaking of people who know what they're talking about, I'm going to bring in some right now. You know what? Let's start with my co-host, the man who lives near no poisonous animals whatsoever, Mr. Brian Garside.
Right?
Did I get that right?
No hurricanes, no poisonous animals, no wars. My face hurts when I walk outside, but I have none of those things going for me. So it's a win.
Canada.
Win.
Oh, Canada. Wow.
Yep.
Congratulations on that. How are you doing this week? You feeling good?
I'm a little bit sick. I'm just like a little, like just a nagging cough and like, not feeling like I'm pretty sure COVID went around my house in the last 2 weeks and I avoided it. But now I have like something weird.
The residual, the vid.
Not quite COVID. Just truly, avoid it. You just can't. You're going to get something.
Speaking of people I cannot avoid, Miss Megan Marsden.
Hi.
How are you?
So confused by that introduction, but it's all good.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You gotta let the introductions come up for you. Well, no, we didn't actually mention this is our pre-show banter section. We do get into some headlines. We get into deep dive into some data. We talk about the comics industry in detail, but during this period, it's really our opportunity for everybody to kind of file into the room and, get the pipes warmed up more than anything else. So yeah, that's why we're saying hi to Megan. She's good. Right. Speaking of, I don't know what I'm speaking of now. Gabe Yoakum.
With glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free.
Wow.
You know how I know the words to the Canadian national anthem?
No.
Robert Goulet at WrestleMania 6. That's how.
Nice.
That's really impressive. How long ago was that?
It would have been 89 or 90.
Wow.
It wasn't that early, was it?
Oh yeah. So I know them because I was the age of the WrestleMania that year, every year.
Yeah, you're right. 1990. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating.
So I was 6, turning 7 that year.
You know who I'm going to bring to the stage? Somebody who knows absolutely nothing about wrestling, Mr. Joe Keating.
I wrote a book about wrestling. Do read my bio.
Shit! Oh,
I don't know anything about Canada. I'll say that because I'm a true American.
Neither do
right for every man. But I will say, yeah.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand. It don't help to hide.
I went to WrestleMania. I mean, come on.
Which one did you?
I thought you knew me, Adam.
I did know you. It was a easy up. You did a fucking book about. I'm sorry. Did it?
Oh, it's 4 minutes. Wow. We're off the internet.
9 minutes. Not 4 minutes in.
I spelled it with a G.
Off the internet.
I spelled it with a G. It was a fug. You did a book about it. I know that. Now, did I read the book? No, I did not. However, I did know. I have looked at your bio. That's all I'm saying.
What book did you do about wrestling?
I wrote one called Ringside.
It's a noir. It's very good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Came out from Image some time ago.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of cool, the man who embodies it, the buzz, the true buzz behind all of our. I don't know where I was going with that. Mr. Blake Morgan, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, thanks so much, everybody! Oh my god! Whoa! That's crazy.
They were cheering for that croissant, not for you, dude.
Well, that's it's interesting that you had that ability, and that's the first time you've used it. I'm just noticing. I'm noticing that's never come up before.
I actually didn't know it would work. I guess I didn't know. Like, I thought you had to be like the host. I didn't know if like co-host or like guests could make noises. I didn't know.
Oh,
now we know.
We know now. We know.
You're like
mystery solved.
You're one of the big dogs, though. You're allowed to do whatever you want.
What is the little thing behind you above the drawer boxes? Is Django? What do you mean?
Is it the Watchman?
I've got the Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns. That's a
Oh,
POP
sick.
box, that little lit box, right? I've got the Image. It used to be a mobile that went into stores and would like float
I
in the
remember
middle
that
of
thing.
stores. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got the Bad Idea bowling pin pen. Yeah. Yes. Which is it? Oh, the lit
I
box.
love
Yes.
that lip box.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
those are so cool. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to check and see if she wants to come in because there's a story to tell. That's it. I'm bringing you in. Are you ready? Give me a nod if you're ready. Okay, I'm adding her to the stage. This is the person that I bid against for this light box, and it was a moderately priced vacation that I could have gone on instead of
Mine's
buying
right here.
this.
Mine's
Yep.
right here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's not fair that you got one after I won that auction. It's just not fair. It's
And I didn't have to pay for it, which was even better.
oh, God damn it.
Adam, do you have to look around the door when you say that it was a moderately paid vacation?
She's not here. Nobody's here. Nobody's here right now. There's no way that they're watching. Do not rat me out on this moderately priced vacation.
I would do this job even if I didn't get paid. Yep. Yeah. I would do this job if I didn't get paid.
Everybody, welcome to the chat. Miss Christina Merkler. Thank you for joining us. Christina's
Of
going to
course.
be in later in the show to talk about Free Comic Book Day and some, I believe it was bonkers numbers that you mentioned in another story. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing that. So
By the way, that interview was amazing. David Harper is so
Oh.
good, and that was really
yeah.
it was fun.
He is so
Thank
good.
you. I always feel like a complete moron after I finish those. And I'm like, did I say words that went
did
together
wonderful.
and actually made sense? Like I love talking to David though, because he's so like easy to talk to. He knows exactly what to ask. And you just feel like you're just talking to a friend. So
Yeah.
And
he
he
makes
also
it very
pulls-
easy.
He pulls a reference out there. You're like, well, how do you even know that?
I know,
One,
right?
you shouldn't know that, and two, how did you know that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You just did an interview with Bleeding Cool too. It like just aired this morning, didn't it?
With who?
Oh, he just took the entire interview of David Harper.
Oh, you can do that? I didn't know
And
you
he
could
still
do that.
and he still doesn't know how to spell my name. It's Christina with an A. And
Oh,
he
yeah?
still puts me in as Christine. I'm like, dude, you have the screenshot with my name properly spelled. Like,
Oh wow.
at
Oh,
least
Rich.
get that right. Come on.
I will say this about Rich. He knows how to get engagement. Let's put it that way, right?
Sure
That
does.
is true.
Because when you
Yeah.
go in and say it's Christina, you've engaged.
Yep. Yeah. Which is why I didn't. He'll just have to figure it out on his own.
It's like why Django has his open sign upside down. Because people come in and say, did you know your open sign's upside down? And whenever he takes a picture of his front,
Whoa.
there's always a first comment.
Nice.
Why
I
is
like
your open sign upside down?
Damn it, he's in the chat. We
apologize.
can't say nice things about him.
It's like
Well,
those content people.
also
on the
he's a
internet
terrible
that
person.
will misspell or mispronounce words just to get comments on their videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're just presentating. It's fine.
I wonder how many
Mhm.
walk-ins he gets per year. Just of like, hey, your sign's upside down.
Django probably knows because he probably has a metric.
I bet he does. I bet
86.
He's tracking it.
he's got a button on Comic Shop Assistant that shows up for everybody. And nobody
Yeah.
else was there for, but it was just every time somebody comes up, once or twice a week.
Wow.
There you go.
That's awesome.
There you go. All right. Well, Christina, are you a fan of wrestling? Is this because apparently this is a
No.
thing?
Mm-mm.
Thank goodness.
Because she's an adult.
Yes. I'm an adult woman that's 54 years old. Not a fan of wrestling. Yeah.
Wait,
No,
wait.
but it does mean that you're a fan
with
of true
that.
crime podcasts, though.
I am a ridiculous fan of true crime podcasts. Yes.
See, there
And
you
true
go.
crime
It's
in
one or the
general.
other.
Yes. Yeah.
One or
I'm-
the
That's
other.
the market we're missing
95
here.
I'm 95% sure that my wife is plotting to murder me because she listens to so many true crime podcasts.
You know,
She has
we're
the-
not plotting.
perfect-
We're just getting information. That's it.
It's
Well,
pretty sad.
in case it has to happen. So,
Carefully filed away. Has anybody done like a story where there's some accidental murder, like there's a crime of passion, and then 3 middle-aged moms come in and go, everybody, I got it. They are like, these are the wolf. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The guy who shows up to clear the bodies. It's not what's his name from oh shoot, what's the name?
Harvey Keitel.
It's not Harvey Keitel.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's like Christina. It's somebody
Yeah.
who walks in and says, okay, I know exactly what to do. What do you have? All right, bleach, go. Yes, you. Yeah, exactly. Because she knows project management. She's done all this research on covering up crime. She knows what to do with a body. She's already got it outlined, right? She already
I
has
have knowledge.
planned out.
I'm not researching. I just have. I happen to have knowledge.
Sure.
And she knows that she's not researching, because that's one of the things you have to say is that I never
Yes.
researched this
Yes,
topic.
I didn't research it. I mean, check my hard drive. It's fine.
Have you watched on Netflix The Perfect Neighbor?
Yes, it's a
You know it.
mess.
Oh,
It is
my-
the saddest.
That
I
bothered me.
bawled
It is-
my eyes out at the end of that.
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it's all done with police body cam footage, and
Yeah.
it is. And there's no narration.
It is devastating.
It's oh yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. It's called
The
Perfect
perfect neighbor.
I'm not even going to spoil anything. You just need to watch it.
Yeah,
It's
go
an
in
hour and
blind.
20
It's
minutes,
worth
and you
it.
will just be riveted the whole time. It's
You will.
incredible.
Awesome. Okay. All right. The perfect neighbor. There we go. You
I
know,
watched the bagging and boarding, making bags and boards a couple weeks ago, and I was just like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Similarly, my algorithm for some reason knows exactly that I enjoy watching these like police audit people who will show up. They'll show up in public with a camera.
Yeah.
And then the police show up because somebody said, you can't film me. And they go, well, of course I can. It's First Amendment and Fourth Amendment means I can, And so they stand there with a camera, and then the police show up, and then sometimes the police get out of, and all they're doing is giving this guy content. It's incredible, but he knows the law so well that there's no way he ever gets out of it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with these guys. Maybe it's just I need to completely overwhelm myself with the ability to say no to authority. I think, growing up in Texas, we're just taught, authority is you say yes,
I think they're so effective, those videos, because you get one of two reactions and they're both equally as passionate on either side. Because when I watch them, I'm stuck watching them because I get so angry that this man is wasting so much of his own time. What are you doing?
Well, and it suckers you into watching a good 45 seconds to a minute of it before you're like, why am I watching this? And so then it really gets in your algorithm because you're stopping on it. You're consuming it for 30, 40 seconds. And then it's like, oh, Blake and Adam like these. And I don't, but I still continue to stop on them because I'm like, it's like part of like the sick part of me is like, is someone going to get hit? Is someone going to go to jail? Like what's going to, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens.
Well, speaking of nothing ever happens, I think we have reached the end of our pre-show banter. Blake, did we get our deck up and running?
We got, it's
down there. Look at it.
there. It's there.
Look at that.
Happy.
Awesome. All right, then. Well, Christina, thanks for joining. Joe, Gabe, Megan, thanks y'all for coming up and talking wrestling and getting me to admit my embarrassing algorithm. I appreciate you all. And we're looking forward to building some comics later this week. All right, let's light this candle, shall we?
Let's go.
It's Tuesday. It's December 9th. It is not yet Festivus. It is not, well, it's kind of in the holidays in that everybody who works in an office suddenly is incapable of getting any real work done. But we in the comics industry are here slugging it out. You are in your shop. You've just opened a bunch of boxes. You're putting things away. You are getting ready for tomorrow's onslaught of people who want to pick up their books. We have been making books. We've been marketing them. We've been building services around them. And one of the people who builds one of those services is my co-host, Mr. Brian Garside. Hey, buddy.
It's me. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. I'm doing okay.
Good.
I'm surviving. My face hurts when I go outside, but other than that, it's fine.
Well, we covered that in the pre-show banter. I think what we
Yes.
learned is that you are in a really bad place. It's a bad
Yeah,
place
yeah.
in Canada. It's not a good place.
My wife and I often say to each other, like, how terrible was the place where our ancestors came from that this was a better option, that they didn't leave after the first winter. They were like, no, this is dumb. No, they just stuck around. Like, yeah.
Nobody,
No.
and there are no wars because nobody ever wants it. It's good. You go and enjoy it.
Oh, the fresh water. You just wait 20 years from now. Everybody's going to want it.
Oh, I've also been watching
Yeah.
was The Handmaid's Tale, which is basically an entire
Oh my
show about
gosh.
people trying to get to Canada. It's it's really
Yeah.
wonderful.
That show's so good. Man, I love that show.
I just finally started it. Anyway, all right. This week we have drama. Can we bring up this? Does it automatically go big? It does. This week we have nothing but chaos inside of our comics world. We are seeing one of our biggest publishers is being sold and or bought and or taken and or who knows,
And or nothing. There's also an option where nothing happens because there's one world where it's like they spin off all the print and terrestrial stuff into its own company. And in that world, like Netflix doesn't touch DC or anything. They just, it's so bizarre. It's all so bizarre.
We also have Diamond Comics finally, seemingly we're hearing kind of we have a bit of a blind item that we're hearing that there's an offer on the table that most people looks like are going to be taking. We might finally see a settlement on this, but man, are they spending a lot of money on lawyers. Honestly, this week has just been so much chaos, but we did end up for the first time really having like hot news come in at the last minute that I don't even think we have on our little rundown here, right? Let's see. Did it show up on this? No, it's not even in there. So in a hard-hitting headline.
I might not even know what this hot news is. It's so hot.
You don't? Oh, you remember?
I'm not sure if I saw that.
You remember when they made an announcement at Comics Pro and I turned to you and I said, "Oh, we are going to make so much money."
Right. Oh, yeah. I know what the news
This is one of those announcements. So, all right. Well, let's dig in, shall we? First, though, I just want to remind you all that the Prana Bullet is a thing that we put a whole bunch of effort into. We do an email every week at Prana that gives you a nice little the week in comics wrapped up in a bow. It's all of the big headlines. It's all the things you need to know about what happened in comics that week. And we put it all together. We're also now, beginning after the first of the year, we're going to be putting in weekly sales reports that we're getting from systems like Brian's and Django's. That is actual POS data happening in the comic shops. We're going to be putting those into here. It's chock full. It's chock full of love. So we want you to please scan the QR code, pull out your phone. You're standing in a comic shop right now. Go ahead and pull out your phone and scan that QR code, and we'll get to you the very next one. All right. Oh yeah, and what is this there?
Comic previews. It is live. It's been live for a couple of weeks, but if you go there, you can get on the wait list and start to get some of the information that we're sending out. We'll start sending it out weekly. This is kind of our take on the much lamented previews world. So it's a place where all of the comic previews will live. And we're going to work on some stuff. I've got some secret things in the works with some of my publisher friends to have some previews and things. Cause site called Comic should have previews. So it's, I basically built the thing that I wanted to use. So it's kind of being tweaked and finangled, but we'll have this thing.
And if we learned anything through our previous episodes here and our interactions this week dealing with some sales data, it's that you need to double check your metadata to make sure that it's accurate, so that when it gets reported, when it gets shown on systems like this, you are being presented in the way that you want to be presented.
Truth.
All right. Let's see what else. Oh, yes. Speaking of sales data, this has been a big deal for us. We've been hyping this for a little while. we have, for the first time in a while, we've had some sales data that is happening from okay. On the sorry, just got a text in from one of our guests. The comics market sales data that we're getting from the POS systems. We've been able to report on this for the first time. In the past, we've done what we called fan confidence ratings. These were really designed to give you an idea of what's coming and how the fans are responding. Now, through our interactions with Managed Comics and Comic Shop Assistant, we're able to actually talk about what's being sold in the stores. This is a big deal. It's been a while since we've been able to do this. There are other places that are reporting on sales data. They are dealing very small cohorts. We were able to put in I think you're pretty much averaging about 100 stores on every single item that we're looking at this point, at minimum, in some cases up to like 400 or 500. So let's dig in, shall we? I think the biggest things we've seen looking at September, we're going to look at September, October, and November, is just the shift that is happening in real time in our comic shops. So we are now seeing, you're seeing basically in September, you're seeing what we all saw for the longest time, which is Marvel way outdistancing DC Comics, and then everybody else kind of falling in behind. We saw Mad Cave making really good play into the market, and that's through primarily a lot of their books, but some of their paper cuts books are doing really, really well, and that brought them in. Oni Press, we were talking earlier about what an incredible turnaround this company has had over the last year. And I think that's due to my old buddy, Hunter Goranson. They're doing incredible work. So we're seeing this grouping of publishers that isn't surprising. Image pretty much staying within their 11 to 15% range, but DC and Marvel really starting to slug it out. And here we see for the first time in, I don't know how long it's been. Honestly, we need to go back and do a bit more research, but for the first time, DC Comics outpacing Marvel. We've reached that parity moment, and they're just starting to edge out further and further. This is, of course, coming from that Absolute line, right?
Well, a couple big things happened in October. One was Marvel decided to pause all of their X books and do this Age of Revelation thing, which, like, personally, our numbers on that stuff is significantly down. But what we found also was like DCKO kicked off at this point, and everything related to that sold out. Like Aquaman sold out, Superman, like everything along the way sold out. So I think it was kind of a mix of the two. They lost a third of their entire line at Marvel, and then DC just happened to have, just a 1-2 punch, pun intended, with Absolute and DCKO that are both doing really, really well.
Jeremy from Titan asks in the chat, is this chart for comic book sales only? Yes, this is for single issue sales in the stores. We are able to actually get what is being sold. So some we're seeing on the top 400 list some things that are there week after week after week because they're continuing to get more and more interest. So this is actual POS data from the comic shops themselves, and we're going to be able to dig more into this and understand it a little better. So let's talk about November. Obviously,
let's touch real quick on Expose Holdings, because that just shows up, and that is largely due to the 300,000 copies of Monster and the Wolf that they sold, and that's an impressive number. So that's pretty cool for a thing that's got, I think they've got 5 titles, and they're up there.
The success of Mark Spears, it's just one of those kind of Cinderella stories. The guy's just around forever and just finds this gear and stays in it. It's incredible. It's incredible watching that.
It's pretty cool.
Anyway, November. Now we're seeing DC really solidly holding that place. Let's see. Yes, Jeremy said, because the book market is completely different animal. So these are single issue sales in the comic shops,
Sure.
and we're gonna learn more about how these numbers are working and how we're going to begin to see the trends that are happening. We're just beginning to scratch the surface of what we can do with these numbers. So obviously DC maintaining their lead. Marvel does an incredible job of maintaining market share by putting so many different covers out into the market.
Yeah.
It's the biggest remarkable piece about this is that DC has not really played that game, although we're going to show you something a little bit later that will actually go against that. But for the most part, they don't play the same game of market share that Marvel does, which is really fascinating considering that they've been able to maintain the lead now for 2 months and seemingly are not going to stop that at all. But here again, Mark Spears maintaining his place in the middle of the pack. It should be noted we did top 10. Had we done top 11, it should be noted that our buddy Ignition Press was I think number 11 at least 2 out of these 3 months. So as we go further along, we'll be able to start talking about who's in the rest of the field. But it's just, I mean, honestly, we're seeing a lot of really the smaller press. We're beginning to see a lot more activity for a while there. It was just this top end, and we're starting to see a longer list of publishers in the top 400. So trying to figure out a way to report on that is, it's a challenge, but we'll figure that out. So anyway. What are the questions this brings up for you? Right. I think that's a real thing going forward is what are the questions that we can be answering with this data? Because a lot of people are going to be asking us questions and we want to make sure that we're presenting it in a way that makes sense. We will continue to present this inside of the Prana Bullet, and we're hoping to make it more available to other outlets as we go forward as well. But I think we're going to try and make a place for it here in this show if everybody still cares, so yeah.
I got some cool plans in store too that I'll share a little bit more in the next couple of weeks as we kind of firm those up, but based on the stuff you and I have talked about and some of the tools that we're starting to build, because this next year is all going to be about the tools that we can build on top of the data that we've got.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And I mean, it's really exciting considering the growth that you've seen and the growth that Django has seen between you. I mean, like I said, we're right at 500 stores. What's your count there behind you? What does it say?
363 right still.
363 still. Oh, an entire week of 363.
It's so quiet right now. It's so weird. Yeah.
I know.
I think it's just this time of the year. But in January, we'll see, usually in January, we see a drop of, 5 to 10 stores, but also a ramp up of 20 to 30 stores. So you'll see a lot of kind of the smaller places decide that they're going to refocus on something else. And then we'll start to see new stores really, really ramp up.
Well, I'm hoping to get into some of that when we get to our friend Christina. So, because I know she had a lot to say about that in her David Harper interview that we were all talking about it before.
Exactly. December, man, it's dead for new stores. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to rock the cart right now.
Exactly. All right, let's dig into. Too many button pushers. That was me. I'm sorry. That was me.
Look at that. That is a punch right in the jaw. That is going to knock you out.
Hard hitter.
That's a hard hitter.
That's a
heavy hands.
That's what that is.
Heavy leather there.
We had some headlines this week. There was a lot of chaos. You would think that we're getting into we be getting into things getting quiet, but for some reason, this week, suddenly we saw chaos. It just showed up. Yeah. Oh shoot! This one, our newest favorite crossover, the one that is going to bring some cash into the stores, Superman and Spider-Man. Yes, we all know Deadpool and Batman, but come on. Who doesn't want this book? Who doesn't want this book? Anyway.
Yeah. What is have they announced the creative teams?
We only got this press release like literally an hour before we came on the air. So the press release itself, I don't know if you have it, did not really cover creative team. So I'm sure that they're holding that for later. This is coming out in March though. That's the new piece.
That would be
Joe Keating says Mark Wade and Jorge Jimenez. All right then.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because that stuff will get released next week, I think, or maybe the week after. The solicits for March. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
As somebody who has a book coming out in March, I can tell you that we're finalizing FOC data right now. So
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
And here's a look at all of the covers. Personally, this one in the bottom, second from the right hand on the bottom, that one's my favorite. But
the DNA one?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those negative covers.
I know. So beautiful. Anyway. Oh, I'm so excited.
Is this one coming from DC first and then the Marvel one will come second, or is it the opposite way this time? Again?
You know what? We have a guest coming up in a little bit.
Okay.
I bet she knows because I know she watches this stuff real carefully, but I don't know. She might not. We might be sliding some questions in for her. The
$7.99 cover price might be it.
All right. Listen, are you a comics retailer who wants to go to Comics Pro, but you just weren't seeing it this year? You should reach out to our friends at Bink. They have a sponsorship for people to go to the Comics Pro annual meeting. I pushed the wrong button because I was trying to see it. In Glendale this year, in February. Please do go ahead and apply. If you, I absolutely recommend that you go. If you're a comics retailer, you absolutely should be going to this event. And if you're not able to make it this year because of finances, please do reach out. Bink is doing incredible work, and this is one more feather in that cap, And if you haven't thought of going to Comics Pro, you need to get there. Says Jeremy. We do not disagree. 100%. We love that. We're
going to send this out in an email this week as well to all of our customers and prospects to let them know about this, because this is a huge thing for stores, and it really is the best event I do all year.
No question at all. And I would argue the best, and it's on top of a lot of other stuff, the best thing that Comics Pro does all year. It's really an incredible event. It's do not miss it. And yes, scan the QR code, because it makes a difference for people if you actually scan the QR code. Okay, help me make sense of this. Is Netflix buying Warner Brothers? Is Paramount buying Warner Brothers? Are they coming in with that sneaky cash deal? Are they keeping themselves? What? From where you stand, I know you've done a lot more reading on this than I have. Where we stand right this second?
Is any of it good news? So that's probably something to talk about later. But so last week, Netflix placed an offer. I think it was $85 billion to buy Warner Brothers. And then this week, Paramount is doing a hostile bid of their own of, I think it's $105 billion is what they're. So Paramount is owned by Larry Ellison of Oracle fame, and Netflix, of course, is Netflix. HBO Max is the number 3 streamer. I believe it goes Netflix, Paramount, HBO Max. So it's the number 1 and 2 looking to buy the number 3, which is pretty crazy. And in any other timeline, probably wouldn't happen because there's some serious anti-competitive things going on there. Everybody I know that's in the entertainment industry is freaking out right now because this kind of consolidation will inevitably mean lost jobs in movies and television. So they're a little bit freaked out. If we look at this from our industry, Warner Brothers has part of the Netflix deal was to spin off the print and television divisions. So Netflix had no interest in terrestrial television or print things, although Netflix does own a couple of print kind of imprints and stuff. So this most likely through Netflix wouldn't actually impact DC because it would go with that Time Warner kind of print stuff. So yeah, we'll kind of see how this is not gonna be quick. It's going to take a while. And having been, so I was part of the whole TSN CTV, which is essentially the Canadian version of ABC buying ESPN back in the day. So in Canada, our ESPN is TSN and our ABC is CTV. And CTV bought TSN. And one of the interesting things that happened during that whole process was basically our budgets were all froze. So we couldn't hire, we couldn't really fire. It was just kind of a frozen status state that took about 18 months to get through. So I imagine something similar like that will happen here, which is both good news because, nothing big will happen, but it's also bad news for the number 3 player bidding on things and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot to really go through over the next little while. There's going to be a ton of speculation out there. And really, we can't do anything until it all shakes out.
Am I just so old and jaded that it's not that I don't care. It's just that I just don't think that anything's going to actually change. I don't see how this is going to change either my life inside of comics, DC's life for publishing, or any. When AOL and Time Warner announced their merger, we all said, that's it, DC's done. When AT&T acquired Time Warner, we thought it was done. Discovery, the same. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see that this is going to change anything.
I think you're right, but I think one of those things actually precipitated some of the industry changes that we've seen, because the industry was not able to provide the numbers that DC needed because they were owned by a company like it wasn't AOL, it was AT&T. So AT&T had different reporting requirements than, so we could see that kind of thing again, where, like, in my opinion, it was for the best, like the right thing happened. But yeah, and you never know, right? You never know. Like, Netflix is the one that scares me because they're all about the metrics, and they're the kind of company that'd be like, oh yeah, this is a rounding error. We'd rather not deal with this business.
It's a rounding error that creates so much value. It's a rounding error that is the cheapest R&D ever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, I've been down this road so many times of AT&T is going to license it out, and and then we're not going to see. I just don't care anymore. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I worked for DC, of course. I mean, we've talked here about how they're doing incredible work right now with a third of the staff that they've had in the past. And it'd be interesting to see Millar World in Netflix. How much of that is interesting? I mean, Mark Millar, however you want to say it, removed apparently all of his social media this last little bit because who knows what role he would have in a Netflix buyout. I mean, he would be definitely a big part of that. So I don't know. I'm fascinated by it, but also I just kind of don't care.
Yeah. This question, I'm still confused how Paramount was able to come in and fight the buyout. Essentially, Paramount isn't bidding; they're actually buying stocks. So they're just going to do a hostile takeover of the stocks. Yeah, which is that's how that would work.
As I think it was Gabe in the chat mentioned earlier, you should if you want to check out the if you want to watch Succession, they do a good job of giving fiction around all of that. Yeah. All right.
Don't let Jeff watch Succession before you have conversations.
Jeff, he just he was in the zone though. It really did change how he saw business.
Yeah.
Comic shop assistant Jeff. You gotta. Whenever you talk to Jeff, you kind of have to ask him what he's watching.
Yeah. What are you watching right now? Dexter? Oh, I gotta go. Jeff. Why am I standing on plastic? Oh no.
We love you, Jeff. Oh, Diamond still going on. $16.6 million they've spent now in legal fees. How much of that has gone to the publishers that they owe money?
Isn't that just like the most frustrating thing ever?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah,
I
this
mean-
could probably make all of the publishers right.
Yeah, that money could make everybody right, and then everybody could go home and go off and do. Yeah, but no, it's gone to lawyers. It's gone to the fight. It's gone to people, taking their piece of something that wasn't theirs to begin with. And
Yeah.
I understand this is just a blind item more than anything else. I understand that there's an offer on the table that legitimate. I mean, these offers are, if they're done right, nobody's happy. But there is an offer on the table that is looking very likely to go through. And if it does, at least everybody will be able to move on. But yeah, honestly, it's just the whole thing is so frustrating that it is still going on. But it will be, continue on. I think you were the one who said it when we started this entire program, this live show, this web show that we're doing is started because of the announcement of this bankruptcy.
Yep.
And you were one of the first to say this is all far from over. This is going to go on for a long time.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to see that. So
this has got at least 6 more months on top of what's going on now before we see any sort of resolution on and the end of whatever Diamond becomes.
That's right. And counting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is going to be fun. All right. Well, there you go. Oh, yeah. So this was a big piece of news. We talked, I think, last week or the week before about Chris Powell, our buddy Chris Powell, who came out of Diamond Comics being hired by the second largest chain in comics retail, which is a group called Coliseum of Comics in Florida. He was hired in with some sort of weird kind of title. We didn't know what it was he was doing. He has taken over Generation X, which I don't think is called for chickens, ducks, and geese. I'm not sure exactly.
I've never seen that before.
You better scurry when I take you out of my Surrey with the comics on top. Anyway, they are this all takes place in my hometown. So Generation X is a really incredible comic shop in my hometown. Love that place. They have been purchased by Coliseum of Comics. My understanding is they're going to be kind of their hub inside of the Texas division of Coliseum. So we're going to see that grow apparently, hopefully very quickly. It's going to be interesting to see. Yes, Wayne does run a great store, but Wayne apparently gets to retire. So congratulations, Wayne, on being able to put down the broom. You no longer have to sweep the same floor every day and show up for you doing your FOCs every week. So Chris, keep it up, buddy. We're looking forward to seeing what you build. Chris Powell built an entire chain. He was a big piece of why the Lone Star Comics chain grew as fast as it did, and then later became just mycomicshop.com, right? Yeah, absolutely. Phil has been a good friend to us and has been on the show. He's it's going to be interesting to watch. That is not how you spell his last name, though. It's B-O-Y.
That's right, B-O-Y-L-E. Yeah, it's interesting too because this is really Coliseum's foothold into Texas, and so if the past is any kind of prelude of the future, we can maybe expect more Texas activity.
I hope so, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly Coliseum overtakes the number one, which is still 14 stores owned by Graham Crackers. So
I think they might be pretty darn close. I think they're at 13 right now. I'll have to check how many stores we have because we have Coliseum in our our group, our roster.
That's right. Awesome. All right. Excellent. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, Phil. Looking forward to seeing what you guys are continuing to build. We are going to do a wrap up of 2025 like everybody else. We've been discussing whether or not we're going to take any weeks off, and I think we've just decided we're going to keep doing these every Tuesday through this month.
We have to because we have to do the Festivus show.
We do have to do the Festivus show. I think that Gabe just promised to come out to Long Island so that we can do
Feats of strength.
the feats of strength.
Yeah.
And boy, you are not ready. You are not ready for my airing of the grievances. I'm just wanting to let you know. But
There's a problem with you people.
You're gonna hear about it.
Yeah, let us know what you think were the biggest headlines of 2025. Just send us an email to info@PranaDM, or QR code that little QR there and
That's
get
right.
that out. Yeah, we'd really like to know. I think I know what my 5 are. I'm really curious to see what other people are.
A couple of them are gonna be pretty obvious, I think, but also like I do want to hear, like, what do you think is going to shape the future of comics? I think that's really the question, is not necessarily, what was the most drama. Obviously, $16.6 million to lawyers has got to be a big one. But like, what is it that we're going to be feeling the repercussions of? What are your big predictors? Looking forward to hearing that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Who's clicking the button? Is it me? All right.
Yes.
Let's bring up an old friend of the show, a good friend of ours, someone who is arguably saved comics in 2025. She definitely was part of the crew that allowed us all to survive that bankruptcy and grow despite of it. She is on one of our trading cards. Let's see, I should have brought that up. Obviously, you're already looking at it. It's this one, number 5. There you go. On the Comic Industry Insiders trading cards. That's probably her biggest credit. So let's just bring her to the stage. Christina Merkler, everybody. Oh, hey.
Hey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm great.
Yeah? Excellent. Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. I know that there were several things we wanted to talk about, but it's always nice to say hello to you and bring you on. I know you're busy, and I appreciate you making time for us. So,
of course,
yeah, 100%.
Luckily, it's slower now.
Yeah,
everyone's like winding down. I'm like, oh my god, we still have so much to do.
I know. It's such a strange thing in that, like, in comics, so many of us are entrepreneurs, and we don't really put it down really well. Like, we don't put our work down really well, but we work with these big corporations who just like go quiet during this period. They just go sleepy time. It's such a strange thing.
And it starts like in November.
I know.
Like, it's not even like the last couple of weeks of the year. Yeah. I get that. It's literally like beginning of November. I'm like, we're all still working, right? Like,
absolutely.
Let's just talk about this at the beginning of the year. First quarter, it'll be fine. Yeah.
And that is the problem, though. Like, even in November, we do our end of year with our 2 biggest publishers, and it's like, you're only looking at the first 3 quarters, but it's so they can, they've already made their major plans, but it's so they know kind of where they're sitting, and everyone gets their numbers all the time. It's just, it's nice to do like a real deep dive analysis wise. And, this year was great. It was amazing. So it was really, those end of year meetings were really nice. Like, they loved us. So
I bet. Well, let's talk about some of those end of the year numbers, because you did an interview with our buddy David Harper where you talked about some bonkers numbers. And I know that you probably can't really get into like some of the details, but I think one of the things that we get asked a lot at Prana, because we do try and keep track of how many stores are open and who's doing what. And, I'm on the list of people that people will call when they say, how many comic shops are there? Right. And you and I had a dinner once where somebody asked that question, and we're both coming in with answers. Talk to me about the store count, and talk to me about what we saw this year. Was it growth? Was it flat? Where are we?
Well, as far as store count, that's a tough one. It depends on the publisher. As far as, like, when we do store counts, we send it to a publisher based on FOC, right? So each week it fluctuates. Like we send something to DC, an image every week, and we're like, this is the number of stores that placed FOC orders, because that's the easiest,
Right.
you know, like parameter to use. And it fluctuates, like depending on the week. You know, if you have an absolute Batman 15, your numbers are probably going to be at the highest. What's funny is in this year specifically, last year we had a couple hundred stores open, like, and we've seen that almost every year, like 200 to 300. Now, you know, we go through a process. They have to, you know, they start with their new store program for the first 6 months. The team monitors it. They kind of do a 1 month check-in after they do all of the initial stuff, right? Then they do a 3 month check-in. Then they do a 6 month check-in. And, you know, there are some people who, I mean, it's very easy to get a resale certificate and to have a website. And so, you know, there are a lot that just nothing ever happens with it. Like we do our 1 month check-in and we're like, hey, and, you know, we may get a response, we may not. And so like a lot of those don't even really actually come to fruition. This year it's been different. So this year when we were running numbers through July, I think we had 462 stores open. And these are not just online stores. Like there is a significant number of brick and mortar stores being opened. And it's very like encouraging. It's very, it's a lot of work on their parts as much as ours. Right. But we love it. Like we love to like get in, especially the CSR team. They have a specific person who goes through that, answers specific questions, gives them, it's a lot of information to take in when you first open a store, right?
Sure.
And you have to learn. Now they get to learn 2 to 3 to 5 different distributors, websites, you know, how the invoicing happens, when they can expect shipments. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than when I started. You know, we started DCBS 26 years ago. You opened a Diamond account and you were done, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%. I mean, when I bought a store, I mean, honestly, the biggest piece was that I was adopting a Diamond account. And it was it. It was just one contact. Yeah, 100%.
Now, there were obviously detriments to that. In that I know when we first started with Diamond, I think we had a different rep in our first year. I think we had 6 different reps our first year. And we very rarely got a response. We didn't we didn't feel, even when we went to the rep or sent an email or called them, we never really felt like we could get answers.
Sure.
And it was difficult. Obviously, as we grew and then, you know, we grew bigger and bigger, then all of a sudden we got better service. I don't know if it was because we were bigger. I assume so. But like we don't want that to happen here, because you don't know who the big person's going to be. Like you've got to treat every new person as if they are going to be the next big whatever. Right. So, you know, I think this year specifically, it's a little skewed because there are people who never left Diamond. Right. Since we have started, they never left Diamond. So we know that those are some of the accounts we're seeing that finally were like, okay, I guess we're going to go to Lunar now because, you know, that's, you know, it's either that or PRH, right? Those are the two that you have to do if you're going to have a store.
Right. 100%. You're going to do both. I mean, at this point, you have to do both, you know, there's no way around it.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So let's dig into that 462 number. That's the number of stores that have started in your system this year, right?
Yes.
And that includes online stores, that includes stores that, you know, maybe have been trying to resisting moving over to Lunar, but have been open for years. That includes a lot, right?
It does. Yeah.
Okay. So but you've talked about like the process of bringing in new stores and, you know, your check in with them and trying to understand who they are and what their size is. Do you have any sort of feeling for Well, what percentage? I don't want to get I guess what you've already said. We couldn't really get a percentage now without getting your full count. But like, what is your feeling? How has the market grown this year as a result of that?
Yeah.
That's really where I'm trying to get to.
Well, I mean, it has for us, so it's difficult, right? Because I don't have Diamond's numbers.
Sure.
But what I can tell you, and I did pull numbers today specifically. So my last year, Lunar had 46 active publishers in 2024. And as of today, we have 66 active publishers.
Oof.
Now, that was a lot to take on. And
Yeah.
to be fair, one of those publishers has two of those have multiple publishers under them, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even like a real number, but it's as real as I can give you. What I can tell you is my invoice dollars from 2024 to this year, as of today, which means, and I still got 3 weeks of invoicing, right? Is up as a total 36%.
Whoa. 36%.
36%. That's with the addition of those publishers. I backed out those publishers, and it's up 30% for my 46 publishers I had from last year. So my publishers that I've had for over the last few years are up 30% as a total in invoice dollars.
Incredible. That is
right.
Incredible.
It's nuts, right? I mean, it is bonkers.
We keep hearing 20% from the stores that we're talking to. And over and over again, we keep seeing 18, 20%. I've heard 40% in a couple of cases. Like,
right.
People, I mean, 40%, and this is for stores that are doing, that have been around for 30, 35 years, and they're up 40%. It's incredible.
Well, I mean, even like IST, that's, been around since 2005, 20 years now. They had a record month last month. Forever, like for all of IST, and a record month, and they've seen growth through the whole. And we have tons of stores like that. We have, like top 50 stores who are seeing numbers like that are just continually seeing.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I want to go back to something we talked about a little bit here. And Brian Fudge, our buddy, his store. What is his store? Can you guys help me? It starts with a C. Brian, remind me what the name of your store is.
Brian Cosmic Comics.
Cosmic. I was going to say Chaos. I knew that wasn't right. He talks about how it must be overwhelming for new stores. I think one of the things that we've talked a lot about on this show is that we have to encourage online stores, right? We have to encourage the stores that are starting off online and are growing into brick and mortar, because that's where the growth is going to come from. Anybody who is smart enough to be in this business knows that you really need to build from a platform of, where your audience is. Talk to me about do you have some feeling for how many of your stores are online versus brick and mortar? Do you have some feeling for where that growth is happening?
Well, we have something in when they actually accept terms of service, we ask them to say.
Oh, okay.
The problem is we're going through that right now, and we're vetting that. Because we have reporting that tells us exactly who, but it's based on what they tell us, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think some people believe that because it comes to a house with brick and mortar, that they're brick and mortar, and I don't think they understand. So what we have been doing is little by little, and it takes a while, obviously, as we go in, we see if it's a true brick and mortar store, we fix it. So I can't give you a real great idea because we're still doing that.
Sure.
Generally speaking, when a new store opens and they say they're brick and mortar, the team will ask them either for a lease, the address, those types of things, so that they can verify it's an actual brick and mortar, in addition to and generally speaking, the resale certificate will be married up to that address anyway. Yeah. So those are pretty solid, but they could potentially put whatever they want in their account as, what platform they're using. I would say that right now we're at probably an 80-20.
Okay.
80 brick and mortar, 20 online, 20% online. But we also have, and I think this is the biggest growth opportunity for all brick and mortar, is brick and mortar who use online as well. So there are a very small percentage of brick and mortars that just do not do online at all. And I think that's where the potential really is. And that's what I think is missing, is that like element.
Well, and I think we can all agree that, you know, any store that is only brick and mortar and has no online is, you know, still has room to grow. Let's put it that way.
Yes,
right.
They absolutely do.
I've been told I'm not allowed to beat that drum anymore. So,
I'm just saying there are plenty of people that get to choose how they want to run their businesses. But I think it's wonderful that there are that many stores that are still growing that haven't even opened that pipeline yet.
Sure.
I think that's it. All right. So I was hoping we can pivot a little bit. I'm going to bring this slide up. There we go. Free Comic Book Day is coming up. We got the go ahead as a publisher. I can just say to put the Free Comic Book Day logo on for a publisher that we represent that is exclusive with Lunar. So is going on the book that we're distributing through you. What can you say about Free Comic Book Day and Lunar's position in it, knowing that Universal now owns the Free Comic Book Day trademark? I know you're going to have to navigate this carefully, so I'm going to leave that open for you.
Yes. So we have been in discussions with Universal, and Universal is planning on making an announcement, which I thought was happening today. And I haven't heard back yet.
Okay.
But yes, so we're waiting for Universal to make their announcement about their Free Comic Book Day plans.
Gotcha.
And we are very excited about their announcement. So I can tell you that.
Very good. I can live with that. I appreciate you coming on and handling it. We've spoken to Angelo and Tim Lanahan, and it's a lot. They have really they bought it at a time when they wish they had 2 more months, right? So they're still trying to make plans and get all of their ducks in a row and make the right decisions for them and for the trademark that they've purchased. And so I'm very happy with what their plans are from what they've told us so far. And we really look forward to hearing the announcement and being able to tell everybody kind of what the overall plan is, which I think is great. And that team over there has got a lot of work ahead of them. And I think it's going to be an interesting year for Free Comic Book Day. Sure.
But I also think that it hopefully what it does is, I've been pretty open about my belief that Free Comic Book Day really needed a tweak. It needs, something.
100%.
So I think that they don't have the opportunity this year because of, they were behind the 8 ball when they bought it. But I think next year they're really going to have an opportunity to see what that needs to be, should be, the way that it can be the most successful for any retail store, because whether you are online or not, it still is a very large undertaking for any retailer. It's obviously a huge sales day, but that kind of goes without saying, right? What we have found and what we've been told by many retailers, and we've seen the same thing, is we're not really seeing a return on that investment, though. There's not the investment of the actual Free Comic Book Day titles are not translating into a significant number of new customers from it. So I think that's the biggest hurdle that they're going to have to overcome is how do we make it something that's just not a bill to a retailer, right? And a lot of extra work. So, I guess I'm glad I'm not in their position for that, right?
I mean, they are like so many of us in comics, man. They are building the plane while it's off the ground, aren't they?
Right.
You really kind of have to. We're getting a quote here from Mark Bowker saying essentially that, Mark, this looks like it's an announcement from from Universal. Are you getting this somewhere? Is Story gone live? We haven't actually seen that yet, so I would love to see that.
Yes.
And also, I want to just note, Brian Fudge says he's up 2,000% for his
That's
profit this year.
insane.
Not a typo. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I know. 100%. All right. One last thing. While we were here, Brian received his lunar shipment. I want to give you the opportunity to make any complaints or not
directly.
You know what?
You know,
Absolutely.
You can forward those right on over to the CSR team. No, I'm just kidding.
It's 100% the opposite. I had a package go missing this week. I messaged the CSR team. I got a email back on Monday morning. They said, like, just tell us what it is and we'll get it out to you. That was yesterday, and it arrived just now. Like, I have no complaints whatsoever. Like, no, I haven't opened it up, so you know, it may be the wrong books entirely. But yeah, I've nothing.
I'm sure they're exactly perfectly accurate and damage free.
Why wouldn't they be?
No, I'm yeah.
I mean, we did just change, you know, some packaging. That's the one thing about us is like we're always trying to figure out the best way to package things, right? Like we don't want to rest on our laurels ever. And we were having issues with because, you know, once we added more publishers, packages started getting heavier. And the bubbles were kind of not doing the best job for some of those. And so Taylor went back to our packaging company we work with is amazing. It's Welch Packaging. So if anyone needs packaging, you know, in the Midwest, let me tell you, they're like super innovative, whatever. So they came in and Taylor went through a whole process and he was like, I need something that's going to really take care of these corners. So they did something where it's an accordion corrugate, so you can use it again, which is great. It's way more eco-friendly than the bubble, and it's a much faster pack for us, which has been a thing too. So it just like flips up into a thing, and then we just slide it in and it covers the corners on both sides.
Thick on each end. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we shorten up the boxes you know, a little bit, and then on the top. So we actually only added, I think it was 6 ounces per box with those new inserts. And it's because we were able to, you know, get a little less of the actual box. It's a tighter fit, which is better. Yeah. And we've had very few people who are like getting, even when FedEx is dropping it on its side, you know, who are really getting significant damages from it.
That's exactly how it came today, on its side and in a little pile of snow. That's why I had to run away, because I was like, oh my gosh, the wing went off and I was like, oh my God, I got to get this because it's snowing right now. And of course they've always put it in the pile of snow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Why would you put it in a dry place that's covered in? Yeah.
Often I will actually get it in front of my garage, just at random, just like they're in front of my garage. And that means my ring doesn't go off. And so now it's great.
You get a surprise. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's nice.
It's fun for everybody. It's fun for everyone. Christina, thank you for coming on. Thanks so much
for
being such a friend of the show.
Christina go.
Oh, look at this.
This is on the Free Comic Book Store Day website right now. So yeah, the cat is out of the bag, I think.
Look at
DC
that.
Comics, Archie, Entertainment, Image. So yeah, this is all our friends. There we go.
So yeah, I let's see this year's lineup, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I guess we are allowed to say.
There you go.
So as you can see, most of those are the publishers that I carry. So we will be flipping the switch, and those have been live for a couple of weeks now on the lunar side as FSIM, which is First Saturday in May, because we did not want to overstep the trademark, and we still wanted our publishers to have the opportunity. And now those will be switched over to an FCBD, as they have been for the last 5 years that we have been in this. And Images, I think, is going to go live today, I believe. And Oni, we were waiting on metadata and from them in Dynamite. So those should be up here pretty soon. And yeah, so it's going to be a little more cohesive event. I believe that PRH are doing their own thing, and they're going to call it a little something different, but it'll be on the same day. So all the stores will be able to, have free comics available to customers and
Wonderful. Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Awesome.
Well, I'm enjoying seeing this develop and watching this new era of cooperative building from our whole industry.
I
Right?
like
We're
it.
all kind of pushing.
I don't know why we wouldn't want to.
I don't know either, and I appreciate that that's still happening. So, Christina, thank you for making us part of that conversation, and we're looking forward. I think we should have you back to talk about like the state of our direct market, the state of our industry. Like, should we probably do that maybe after the first of the year? I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
We can actually look at 2025 after it's completed, as opposed to
Yes, I'd love that. And I can give
Yeah.
you real, like, not real numbers, but I can give you
Sure.
real percentages.
I love real percentages. Those are always good. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Well,
of course. Thank
All
you.
right. Stay warm.
Take care, guys.
Take
All
care.
right. Okay.
Man, if the Free Comic Book Day people want to talk about maybe a modern website, this thing's atrocious. It's got the stink of diamond all over it, and not the good diamond stink either. This is the crappy.
Oh, they'll get there. They know you. You know them.
I know.
They'll get there. Yeah, we'll all grow this together.
Angela, when you see this, just have Alessandro call me.
Angelo, Tim,
Sure.
Nance, you're all welcome to come on the show. We'd love to talk to
Absolutely.
you. We look forward to seeing this develop. All right, let's jump into this week's final cut. Our buddy Keith Davidson couldn't be here today, but he did send along a nice little video of a book that is going to be on FOC for you this week. And our buddies at Source Point are putting out a brand new title, and I think we're ready to talk about it. Blake, you want to hit that button?
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Davidson, and welcome to The Final Cut. We're talking today with John Dexter, the writer-creator of Alpha Dogs, the new trade paperback coming out from Source Point Press, January 21st. John, welcome.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's an awesome relationship that Prana and Source Point has teamed up for this collab and to get our work out. I really appreciate it. And it's an exciting time for all of us here at Source Point.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you. So let's get down to it. Alpha Dogs, Volume 1, introduces us to Buck, a pit bull with extraordinary powers. Please tell us about Buck's situation and the threats that he faces in this story.
Buck is this pit bull who has the power to heal from any wound. He also has a heightened strength and intelligence. Him and his owner have been on the run from mercenaries his entire life who are trying to capture the dogs to manipulate their powers. Because his owner has lived this very lonely life protecting her dogs, she ends up getting manipulated by a new boyfriend to divulge the secret of her dog's powers. But little does she know, her new boyfriend already knows of the dog's powers and has created this formula that once in possession of their blood, he can create his own dogs, their own unique abilities. This story was kind of inspired from actually my hospital visit. I had contracted this really rare cancer. And so as I'm in the hospital bed, I had this idea for Alpha Dogs because my dog, in this town we lived in temporarily, they had outlawed pit bulls and we weren't getting rid of our dogs, so we moved. That inspired me to create this series about this dog that's feared by the public because of his breeding size, but he has a big heart.
Please tell us about Buck's situation and the threats that he faces in this story.
Yeah, so Buck is this overgrown pit bull. Him and his owner have been on the run from mercenaries his entire life. They have been here or there changing their appearances. Well, the owner, of course, not the dogs, but the pit bull Buck, him and this older kind of grumpier pit bull that is with him, they have the power to heal from any wound, heightened strength and intelligence. And their whole lives, they've been trying to get away from these guys. And it's a really, sprawling story that people are really going to love. I mean, who doesn't love dogs, right? And then to have these incredible powers, it's really enthralling. It's really kind of got this groundswell. I started out with, just me sitting in a hospital bed, trying to get all that and working on it. So it's great to see that it's kind of come to fruition after all these years.
Now, along the way, both in the present day and what we see in flashbacks, we meet more of the canine cast. What are the personalities and powers that we might see in the pages of Alpha Dogs?
Yeah, well, I don't want to give away too much of their powers because I think it's always more entertaining to see it other than tell people. There's a great double splash page where we reveal the Cocker Spaniel's powers, but they're all very unique personalities, like all dogs. You've got this Chihuahua named Tomko, who is got this really heightened intelligence, and he knows it. He's always getting himself into trouble. And the Cocker Spaniel named Shelby, who's got this big heart, really fierce, but kind of quiet. She's always having to get him out of these scrapes. And you've got Zahara, this Siberian Husky, who's got this real issue with Buck, our main character dog, who can heal from any wound, because her brother and her were captured, and the brother kind of blames his sister, and his sister, the Siberian Husky, who is a prevalent character, blames Buck for getting his powers. The backstory with is this. The owner, Buck's owner, she has lived this incredibly lonely life protecting her dogs. And she gets manipulated by this guy, and she kind of divulges the secret of the dog's powers. But little does she know, he already knows of the dog's abilities and has created this formula that once in possession of Buck's blood, he can create his own dogs with their own unique abilities. So you've got, they said, the Tomko, the Chihuahua, who is highly intelligent, and then the other dogs, Shelby, the Cocker Spaniel, and Zahara, have their own unique powers that we're going to find out as the series goes along. But it's got this great adventure story and a great mystery of how Buck got his powers in the first place. And as the story kind of goes along, we go back a little bit more in time until we find out exactly why. So there's a lot of cool mystery to it, a lot of fun adventure. If you're a pet lover, if you're a dog lover especially, you're really going to enjoy the series.
So at its core, what are the themes that you're exploring in Alpha Dogs?
Yeah, so even though it's this fun adventure with these dogs with their own, unique abilities, it really has a lot of heart to it. It's kind of one of the themes is prejudice against dogs and people. Buck is this overgrown white pit bull, so of course the humans are scared of him, but he's got this big heart. And so a lot of the stories about, prejudice against people, dogs, based on reputation, as opposed to the strength of their character. And Buck has a lot of it. He has in spades. He will sacrifice himself to help other people, human, dog, Cocker Spaniel, cat. So, and then it has to do with, abandonment, because this dog, and he is kind of pushed aside for his owner's new boyfriend, and the older dog that is with Buck throughout the series, Cyrus, the older grumpy pit bull, he was pushed aside for Buck, the new puppy. So it has a lot to do with not just with pets where, you've got this dog and then the kids get a puppy and they're kind of pushed aside, but it also has to do with, it really translates to people too. And, kids or stepkids where, their parent remarries and the kids are kind of pushed aside. It's kind of a cautionary tale of, abandonment and not really focusing on what you should focus, and selfishness that humans can some ways have.
Now, this is the first complete story arc of Alpha Dogs, and it includes story content that has never previously been released. What should longtime fans and new readers know about the bonus content of this graphic novel?
Well, the cool part is there's a bonus story in here that you can only get in the graphic novel. And it's a really cool flashback scene of Buck when he's 2 years old. I mean, who doesn't love a 2-year-old dog? And they have to save their owner. She's been captured by mercenaries. Then they have to kind of get her out of that fix like they do quite a bit in the story. So it's a really cool bonus content that you can only get in the graphic novel that people are going to, I think, really enjoy.
So let's talk about your collaborators on this project. We're talking about artist Fernando Melick and colorist Ezequiel Dominguez. What do you love about their work on Alpha Dogs?
Well, look no further than, the cover. It's amazing. And the interiors, I would put the interiors against anything. Here's a really great page and cover. I include some of the rare covers in there too. It's they do such a great artwork. They've done work for Marvel, DC, Image. They've done a lot of amazing titles, and I was fortunate to find them, have them work on this. Fernando was an amazing illustrator. As we had spoke before, he had done a book. So in Ezequiel, he's done, colorist for all sorts of big projects. So you're going to get your money's worth with the book. I can guarantee you that. it's a great story, I believe. Who doesn't love dogs? And the artwork is just amazing. It's stunning.
Now, this question is really on behalf of the many dog lovers out there. How do you think that a furry protagonist connects with a reader?
Well, I think everybody has had at least one time in their life had a pet, whether it be a dog, cat, that's meant a lot to them, really been, special to them. And in our dog, who it's actually based on, in the last page, there's a tribute to who Buck is based on. We had a dog named Pig. He was a pit bull mix, looked just like Buck. And we had lived in this town that had outlawed pit bulls, and we weren't going to get rid of our dogs, so we moved. I think it really plays into part of the theme of, judgment of people, dogs, whatever, based on prejudice. And I think people are going to really love the aspect of that in this dog and his loyalty to his owner throughout the series.
Now let's talk about the ideal Alpha Dogs reader. Which comic shop customer absolutely needs to pick up Alpha Dogs because they're guaranteed to eat it up?
Yeah, well, Alpha Dogs really, if you love adventure stories, and who doesn't love adventure stories? Who doesn't love dogs? So it really, honestly, from preteen to adult, would really love the story because it's got a lot of heart warmth, with the dogs and the connection. Then you've got these other dogs. If you're a fan of superhero stories, you're going to love it. If you're a fan of, mystery, you're going to love it. There's no real swear words, nothing gratuitous. The dog does get shot, but he can instantly heal from any wound. So it's got this sprawling mystery of how the dogs got their powers. It's got the revenge story of this individual, this bioengineerist that has been able to engineer Buck's blood to put in other dogs to have powers for his revenge plot. And then you've got this group of mercenaries that live in this island that's they've been able to keep uncharted from the public, this cabal of mercenaries that, have been after the dogs their whole lives. So if, anybody that loves adventure, anybody that loves pets, then they're really going to want to pick it up. And I can about guarantee they're going to enjoy it.
So we're at the end of our time. Do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share about the book?
I just want to thank comic book shops for getting behind this book and kind of being an advocate for it. And if anybody wants to give any love and, recommend it to your customers, that would be much appreciated. I can just about guarantee that they'll really enjoy it.
Well, John, thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate you talking about Alpha Dogs, and we'll see it in stores on January 21st.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, John. Thanks for doing that, and thanks for those of you who are sticking with us to check that out. You're up on FOC this week. If you're a comics retailer, you're going to want to be ordering Alpha Dogs through Lunar or Universal. Those two codes are right down there at the bottom of the screen. And if you're a fan watching this, make sure to let your comics retailer know that it's time to pre-order because Alpha Dogs is coming. And we all need to remember those dogs that have meant something special to us. Also a little bit more business here at the end. If you are a fan of Negative Burn, which was a massive anthology back in the 90s and early aughts, our buddy Joe Pruitt put this together through Caliber and a couple of other places, bringing it back. So if you want to scan that QR code and set up for the launch of Negative Burn on Zoop, we definitely want you aboard this particular adventure. So there you go. That's the Prana stuff for this week. What do you have?
Hey, come hang out with us at managecomics.com. We have weekly webinars every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And you can go there and sign up for our Get Started guide and get more info about it. And talk to me because I'm the only one that ever answers any of our tickets. I don't know what everyone else is doing.
was that a retailer recently who was asking we should he said when dealing with you, he was there was some response, our team is on this. He's like, just say Brian's on it. Just say Brian. Brian's doing it.
It's usually me. 95% of the time. Well, that's not true. Like if it's a data issue, I've got a guy named Max that does all the data stuff. So I flip that stuff over to him. And if it's a code thing, then I hang out with Taras and we figure it out.
Keith, we're going to pass that along
So.
to Brian. We're going to pass that along rather to Keith, who couldn't be here this week. But yeah, excellent. I'm so glad. You're checking it out. Thank you. Appreciate that. For the Prana Publishers line is in your debt. So one last thing. So Comics the Magazine is coming. You should sign up for our newsletter, and I will tell you why. Because there's an announcement on Friday having to do with issue 1 that is the biggest thing I have ever announced in my career. It is this you've seen it, Brian. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say the thing that I want to reference it, but we'll talk about it next week. But I'm so super excited for this.
Absolutely the biggest thing I've done in possibly in my career. So and it's been a long weird career. So you should definitely sign up. Find out about Comics the Magazine. It's going to be a magazine about comics in comic shops. We're going to cover everything that has to do with comics. We're going to give all of the love that you have to comics. We are putting into every page. Joe Keating is our editor. We have Rico Renzi doing the design. We had Gabe earlier who is handling sales. You want to be advertising in this, you really want to sign up. I'm telling you.
I am.
Comics the Magazine.
I'm advertising in this thing.
That's right. You are.
Gotta advertise.
You gotta support. You have to make that happen. We did
Absolutely.
it, buddy. We did another live show. Look at that. And we only went 11 minutes over.
Honest to God, Adam, when I looked at the lineup this week, I was like, there is no way we're filling 60 minutes. But I didn't say that to you because I'm not that guy. But there was
I'm usually that guy.
way we were filling 60 minutes. Yeah, I'm amazed. We went over.
Listen. We're getting good at this. We know we can talk. We can talk for an hour.
To be fair, anyway. I didn't know we were having Christine on. That was kind of last minute. What?
I am sorry, Blake. These things come together at the last minute, buddy. I'm sorry.
Sometimes
sorry. You did a great job. I'm gonna bring you to the stage. Say you did a great job, buddy. You did fantastic work. You're not.
I didn't say anything. I didn't.
No, we're just letting you know.
We're letting you know.
Awesome. You know what?
Appreciation.
I usually end the show by saying that if you bought comics, if you created comics, if you sold comics, if you distributed them or you printed them, you saved comics this week. It wasn't you this week. It was Blake. Congrats on saving comics, buddy.
I saved comics. We all saved Free Comic Book Day, the industry. That's all that matters.
That's right.
A lot of people worked real hard to make all that happen. So support your local shops that first Saturday in May. A lot of people worked hard for that.
Check us out
before then too, because we could really use that support in January and February. I assure you.
Support them through the holiday season.
That too. Buy all your gifts. Buy local. All right. Namaste, y'all.